Welcome to Bisburg on 101.5 Word FM, WORD. This is Gary Dixon, and this program is sponsored by the Mentoring Partnership of Southwestern PA. Our guest is Dana Gold, who's Director of Programs, and we welcome you to our program.
Thank you.
We always take in the first part of this first segment in the program, ask you about your organization. We'd like to say that every business or organization or ministry has a story. Well, what is yours?
Well, thank you. We're really excited to be here today and to speak with everybody out there in the congregations in this region about the Mentoring Partnership. The Mentoring Partnership of Southwestern Pennsylvania has been around for 20 years now. This is actually our 20th anniversary.
Congratulations.
We're very excited about that. Going to have a great big party in October where we honor all the people who brought us along, all the founders, which include Dan Rooney, Ambassador Rooney, and George Miles. They're going to be two of the people of many who we're going to celebrate in our journey of mentoring. The Mentoring Partnership is dedicated to maximizing the opportunity of mentoring to transform the lives of young people in our region. And the way in which we do that is by reaching out to the community, to mentoring programs, to congregations, to schools, and offering skills, training, and technical assistance to help people really make the impact they really desire to have on kids' lives that so often is overlooked.
When you speak of mentoring, in what areas are we talking? All areas, specific areas, or what?
Well, we reach out mainly to organizations and to congregations that work with youth between the ages of about 8 to about 24. So that middle range of youth that's very influenced by adults who still are really needing adults in their lives to help guide them, to make good decisions, to help listen and care, to help support them so that they are successful in achieving their goals and choosing the right path for themselves.
Is this a program in which an individuals, all your individuals who are helping you in volunteering, will take one child at a time or multiple children at a time and mentor them? How does that work?
Wow. The Mentoring Partnership supports over 140 different mentoring organizations in the region.
I see.
That reach out to over 26,000 children in this area. So there are good people involved in children's lives all over the place. And some of these are, like the Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
That's the one a lot of people have heard of.
That's the one a lot of people have. And that's that traditional one-on-one mentoring where you go out in the community. But Big Brothers, Big Sisters also has lunchtime mentoring, and they have e-mentoring. And then we have organizations like Allegheny Youth Development that is a faith-based program that works with boys on the north side, an after-school program 5 days a week. But it's a group mentoring program that uses judo, believe it or not. I mean, we have Strong Women, Strong Girls that goes into elementary schools. We have all these different kinds of ways to reaching into children's lives through adult interaction. We call that mentoring.
Okay, so it's the full gamut in every form you can probably think of, from individual one-on-ones to groups and all kinds of different organizations that you're involved with. And when we come back, we want to talk obviously more in depth about it, exactly what it is that the Mentoring Partnership of Southwestern PA is doing to advance this great work that is being done with children, and it's so needed. You're listening to Bisburg on 101.5 Word FM. Dana Gold is the Director of Programs for the Mentoring Partnership of Southwestern PA, and we'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Bisburg on 101.5 Word FM, WORD. This program is heard, of course, on the radio, 101.5 FM, but also in streaming audio. A lot of people listen online. You can hear the program on wordfm.com, christianradio.com, tunein.com, and iHeartRadio as well. Our guest is Dana Gold, Director of Programs for the Mentoring Partnership of Southwestern Pennsylvania. Well, we just got an overview about your organization and what it is involved in and how it works. Let's talk about mentoring itself. What is the effect of mentoring?
Well, mentoring has a wonderful effect on youth. There's a lot of studies that have been out there that show that these kind of positive relationships with a significant adult can really make the difference for a child who's walking that path and could go either way, who could take the right path, who could wander down the path isn't as successful for them. So the effect of mentoring is that we want adults who have youth in their everyday lives to be able to be intentional about those interactions with youth so that they do become as impactful and supportive as they possibly can be. So we're talking about everyday mentoring. And that's a new initiative. We're really reaching out, and that's why we want to talk to congregations, because congregations have the opportunity. They have so many youth who come through their doors. They're coming into youth group. They're coming in to be confirmed. They're coming in for Sunday school. And congregations have that struggle with, how do we retain these youth? How do we keep them involved? How do we disciple them so that they're growing up in the church and it's relevant for them? And, we get these programs and curriculums, but we don't really train our adults to be impactful in their relationships and how they speak, how they listen, how they interact with children.
You said the word intentional before. So much of the interaction that we have as individuals, as adults, as organizations with youth are perhaps too much unintentional. What you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, is that we need to realize the importance of what we're saying to and how we're interacting with these very vulnerable youth in a time when they really are going to go one way or the other. It's such an important time, isn't it?
Oh, it's so important. And in the Everyday Mentoring Initiative, we're just asking adults to look at their lives and see where the kids are. So maybe you're a school bus driver, and all you're focused on is getting those kids in one piece from point A to point B. But you have an opportunity there to be more than that, to elevate your sense of mission about what you're doing. Maybe you work in a school cafeteria. Maybe the words you say and the intention with you serve a child their lunch, or in your after school program at the church, or during Sunday school, that it's more than delivering a meal or a lesson or a Bible verse. It's about being a person that children can trust, who knows how to listen so that kids will speak to you, who knows how to really make that difference in a child's life. We all want to do that. We all want to be that person, but too often we don't know the how. We don't know how to take that opportunity.
Usually, we're just reacting as we go through life, and unaware most of the time, unfortunately, that how we are reacting, what is coming out of our mouth, has such an effect on children.
Yeah, I take the example of coming to my house after school and seeing my kitchen crowded with teenagers. And I have an opportunity to look at that, just like we all do, and go, oh no, they're eating all the food, they're making a mess. What are they doing? Are they up to no good? Who is that child who I don't know? But instead, when I walk in and I look at that as an opportunity, that's what we're asking congregations to do, to look at the youth who are sitting in the pews, who kind of look a little bit rough around the edges, the ones who come to Bible study but don't participate, those youth who need us so desperately. We at the Mentoring Partnership, through our Everyday Mentoring Initiative, want to offer the adults in congregations the opportunity to learn some of those positive youth development skills, to learn those listening skills.
Well, I guess we are all in the process as adults of mentoring, whether we realize it or not, aren't we? And we all have the potential to be mentors. And the way you're describing it, it just makes me think of basically being a mentor is just, instead of reacting and not thinking about what's coming out of your mouth or the way you're acting or how you're talking with these children that may be around you, that you're actually giving that some forethought. Is that right?
So when we're sitting in the pew on a Sunday and there's that unknown youth, or the one who only comes at Easter, because Easter's coming up, what am I going to say to the kids who surround me in the pews today? How do they want to be viewed? what can I do that's welcoming to them? And the Mentoring Partnership is offering training to congregations completely free to come in and talk about how we can do this, how you can do this, how we can be a partner with you to make those, to elevate the mission of every adult in the church to be a disciple maker of the youth.
You mentioned, of course, the training, which is what is so much we're missing in so many cases, right?
Right.
And that's what you're offering here. And what is this? You mentioned it several times. You have an actual initiative called Everyday Mentoring. Let's talk about that.
Everyday mentoring is our understanding that, mentoring happens in wonderful programs, and there's a lot of wonderful adults who stand up and say, I'm going to volunteer and do that. Maybe you don't have the time right now. Maybe you can't formally do that in a program. But we can come alongside adults everywhere as coaches, on the basketball court, as librarians, as teachers, people who have interactions with youth every day, like in our congregations, and say, okay, how do we elevate our sense of what we're doing with them? How do we really impact kids' lives in the brief moments that we have, or the interactions and the opportunities that God gives us in these very natural ways? So everyday mentoring is to be out there in the community helping everyday adults make every day matter. So that's what we say, everyday mentors, because every day matters. Every interaction matters.
You mentioned also a couple of times about congregations. Why are you targeting congregations in particular?
Well, I don't know about you. I imagine you too. But congregations and youth group and Sunday school all had a huge impact on my life. And I was one of those kids who was an outside kid. I wasn't coming with a family. I was coming along with a friend. And that the adults in that congregation changed my life because they were intentional. I don't know who trained them to be so welcoming and open and good at listening and not requiring of me of jumping through hoops that I didn't even know existed. So how do we give adults skills so that every youth feels welcome?
Because some adults have those skills seemingly naturally,
Yes.
and others do not, but it can be learned.
Absolutely, it can be learned. It's as simple as communication skills. It's as simple as understanding what youth need, getting some understanding of developmental stages in kids' lives. It's a lot of very simple skills and just being intentional. And so that's why, we've developed a bunch of different trainings that you can choose from. You can go on our website. You can go to mentoringpittsburgh.com. You can look at the array of different trainings that we have, some as long as, half an hour long. You can put a bunch of them together. Find the things that work for you so that your Sunday school teachers, youth group leaders, everyone can make the impact they want to have on helping youth to make good choices.
Well, let's talk just more specifics about your training. What is exactly your training?
Well, the trainings are based on basic evidence-based mentoring skills. And we do talk a lot about communication. We talk about how to set good boundaries. We talk about understanding what that mentor does, because a mentor is different than a therapist or a pastor or a teacher or a parent. And so we talk about what that role is. We talk about what to expect in a relationship with kids. We talk about accepting diversity, because youth culture is very different than our adult culture.
That's for sure.
That's for sure. So we give you an array of things that you can choose from that really fit your situation and the adults in your congregation and what they need to make the kind of impact as they want to have on youth.
So you will show me in such training perhaps some things that I could talk about, or some things maybe I should avoid talking about, or a way to say something?
Yeah, we help you look at what you do. We give you practice. All of our trainings are very interactive so that they're a lot of fun. It's not just lecture, but you have experience and you're interacting with one another and you're growing together in a community, in your church, to really, as a community, be intentional about making an impact on kids' lives.
We have about 1 minute left in this segment, but let me ask how you feel that all of this will benefit the congregations themselves.
I think it just, we have our pastors trained, we buy curriculum, we make sure we have a good musician who's been trained and knows how to lead singing, but we oftentimes just send adults into relationships with kids with a prayer.
Oh, that's true.
And just say, the Holy Spirit will guide you. You know what? We don't say that to our preachers or our choir directors or anyone else. Let's equip our adults. And this is a free training that really we're happy to come to you and to bring these skills to your adults.
And you have so much experience, and you said 20 years that the organization has been around doing this.
You bet. Yeah.
That's fantastic. We're going to take a break in just a moment and come back with one more segment in this program, which is called Bisburg on 101.5 Word FM. Dana Gold is Director of Programs for the Mentoring Partnership of Southwestern PA. For contacting the organization and finding out more, we got a couple of things we can give you, a phone number and, of course, the website. The website is mentoringpittsburgh.org. That's mentoringpittsburgh.org, and the phone number is 412-281-2535, 412-281-2535. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bisburg on 101.5 Word FM. We're talking with Dana Gold, Director of Programs for the Mentoring Partnership of Southwestern PA, about what they do and what they offer. Let's get back into the topic about what your organization does and the mentoring is benefiting the congregations and how it brings more youth into the community.
Well, we really think that Everyday Mentoring Initiative, the training that we provide, will help adults in congregations retain the youth who are already there. You've already got youth coming. Giving adults this training will help retain the youth. And it also brings more youth in. When kids are there and they feel welcome, they bring their friends.
Absolutely.
And so making sure that adults are there to welcome them and know how to do that in a great way. So everybody is involved.
Let's talk about how your organization, the Mentoring Partnership of Southwestern PA, can help the congregations themselves support that youth.
Well, we have some programs that we do that focus on youth training too. So, for example, one of the everyday mentoring initiatives we have is called 5 Steps to Finding a Mentor, where we're equipping youth to actually learn how to look around them in their congregations and in their community and pinpoint who can help them with their goals, and then actually help them practice asking for help. Lots of times kids don't know how to take advantage of adult relationships.
Sure.
And we put adults in their lives and kids still don't know what to do with them. So this training that we also offer through the Everyday Mentoring Initiative allows you to train your youth.
So you're talking about working both ways,
right.
Not just the adults and how they interact, but you're giving instruction to the kids themselves about how to ask for what they want.
When we do mentor training, we also do mentee training. That's what we call it, because kids have a responsibility in the relationship to take advantage of that, to be open-minded, to participate, to come with goals, and to be grateful to the adults in their lives for offering that help.
So let's say I'm in a congregation. How do I get involved? How do I do this? Is there a cost involved in doing this? Explain all that.
Well, if anyone in the congregation is interested in learning more about the Everyday Mentoring, because Everyday Matters initiative, they can call our offices at 412-281-2535, or they can go on our website and look for our Everyday Mentor training. We have a whole a la carte menu of all the different kinds of things that you could choose from for your congregation, and it's all free of charge. And we're not just doing this in congregations. We're doing this in schools. We're doing this with bus drivers, school crossing guards. We're reaching out to librarians and coaches. We're reaching out to people who interact with youth in their everyday lives to make that impact, to take the initiative.
We appreciate very much the work you are doing, your organization, and for how long you've been doing it. 20-year anniversary this year. It is called the Mentoring Partnership of Southwestern PA. The phone number is 412-281-2535, and online you'll find them on the website at mentoringpittsburgh.org. That's mentoringpittsburgh.org. Dana Gold is the Director of Programs for the Mentoring Partnership of Southwestern PA, and I appreciate very much you spending your time with us today.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.